Cheers, COD family, it's your princess. Our season is coming to an end soon, and I never had a KVK with so much fighting. Today, I want to share the stats with you from the different zones, so stay tuned. Welcome to my new video, and if you like and enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell notification, then you won't miss out when I will share a new video or will go live. And if you want to support me, please drop a like here on the video, that helps me out a lot. So we had a really crazy season of Strife number 3. We had to fight in Zone 2, Echo and RK, and we were faced in Zone 3, GG and RAC. And then when the Zone 4 opened and we had to go back in the Zone 3 trying to getting the Necro, we had incredible fights as well. All over, I can say it was fighting-wise really the one of the best season I had in that game, because we were fighting 24/7, and that is kind of the worst you would like to have when you play this game. So even if we didn't get the Dragon or Necro at the end, I have to say congratulations to Echo, RK, GG and RAC. Congratulations to the win of the season. It was a pleasure fighting you. And it was especially such a big challenge. And yeah, big thanks to our allies, BXS, P2W and Kong. We gave our best what we could, but we go now a little bit in the data that you can see what happened in the different zones, what kind of merits got each alliance, what kind of deaths got each alliance. And yeah, I can say something at the beginning, the numbers are very huge. And I got now finally everything from our data team, from EIS. So a big thanks to Onyx. She provided me the Excel sheet, and I can share now with you all the numbers, and we can look a little bit in it how this KVK was stats-wise. So this is the first Excel sheet I want to show you. Here you see the two teams we had in that KVK. It was Echo and RK. They built up a camp together, and RAC and GG were a camp, and they were together a team. Then the other camps were EIS and BXS and Kong and P2W, and that was the second team in that KVK. You see also the alliance power over here, and you see the number of players. And I have to say that we only counted in players which have city level number 25, which are over 15 million power, and which had a minimum of 100k merits. So it is possible that there may be some farm accounts some inactive accounts which are used for merit trading. And I also have to say, we counted the stats Zone 2, Zone 3, Zone 4. That means the merits in opening Zone 2 until Zone 3 opened. Then the merits Zone 3 are when Zone 3 were opening until Zone 4 opened. And the merit Zone 4 is the opening of Zone 4 till the 25th of January around. And then we had still some fighting going on, a little bit poking here and there, but there were the most war going on. So you have to keep that in mind. And it also includes the merit trading the alliances did. I can only speak for us, for EIS. There was not much time for merit trading when you are 24/7 fighting. And I personally, I didn't trade a single merit this season because we had so much fights going on. First, it was not needed. Second, it was not even possible because I needed my troops on the field. And yeah, let's go and have a look a little bit into it. When you see power-wise, there was a little bit an advantage on the side of the team. Echo, you see here 76 billion power against our team 68 billion power. That is also because when we jumped into the KVK, Kong lost around plus minus 30 players or something like that. They migrated out at the very beginning after KVK. So power-wise, they lost power directly at the beginning, what was not so easy for the Zone 2 for Kong and Pay2W. And when you see here the players, it is close to be even. It looks a little bit different, 100 million player plus and a 150 million player plus. But I said it at the beginning, it was always a KVK I wanted to see. And even if we lost the season, I had so much fun this season. I had so much good wars and I like the challenges and I learned a lot this season. So I'm super happy with this season over here. So let's go a little bit into it and mark that over here. So the Zone 2 was basically, it was Echo and RK. Let's give here a little bit the numbers versus BXS and EIS. So when you look at this Zone 2 war, it was like at the beginning, we were both coming into that zone and then for sure you meet a little bit on the middle and we tried to push Echo on the bottom side and we knew there are 3 choke points. So we kind of secured 2 choke points and we're reaching the Thunder Rock on the bottom side, but it was just impossible. I mean, Echo was crazy and they have super strong players. So it was just impossible to get there further. So at the end, we had 3 choke points and I think we did overall a really, really great job because we defended 3 choke points against rallies over and over again. That Zone 2 fighting was crazy. It was from day one opening. There was not a single minute where we have rested and we had a lot of crazy Bastion fight. And when we come to the dead troops later, it gets even more crazy when you see the number of dead troops. I think for that, what we had on numbers and that we still have a lot of players which don't have the artifacts maxed or the heroes maxed. I think we did a really great job that we defended all 3 choke points till the end. But we had to give that up because we had to go to Zone 3. Let's look here at the others as well. We had, let's give them the color red here that you see who was against who, that we can look at this as well. That were our allies fighting in Zone 2. There you see the merits as well. GG and RAC pushed Kong and Pay2W out. I think it was something about a day or 2. I don't remember it 100% correctly, but that zone was really fast secured by GG and RAC and they controlled the Zone 2, got both Thunder Rocks. At the end, there was a little pushback, but at the beginning, Zone 2 opening, they really locked them back into Zone 2. And when you look here merits-wise, I think both teams in Zone 2, when you count it together, the yellow numbers and the red numbers, it was pretty even merits-wise in Zone 2. So that was the fight up over there. And I really like on that map that you fight in Zone 2, one camp, then you fight in Zone 3, the other camp, and then you have Zone 4 where everyone is coming together. So then Zone 3 was happening. So let's go with the yellow again. So we had to fight RAC and GG. We had a little bit of disadvantage, I have to say, because we were massive power down still from fighting Echo in Zone 2. And should we have gone a little bit earlier back in Zone 1 and heal up, maybe that would have helped. On the other hand, we had such good fights with Echo, and I mean, it was a super challenge fighting and holding against such a powerful player alliance like Echo. So we went into Zone 3 with still much hospital. I remember that. And I think we both pushed through the necro, but it was clearly that we're so we had just not the troops healed up to can stand this. And I have to say, much respect. RAC, GG, they did a great job in Zone 3. So they got the necro and then we defended one choke point and we got pushed back to another choke point. It was a little bit dropping. We still set up a defense at a choke point and that was pretty much the end of Zone 3 when then Zone 4 opened. And when you look also here merits-wise, we did a pretty good job as well. So I think it was, when you see the numbers, it was very even. Then we had Zone 3 over here. Let's take the red one again. That was the other team fighting over here. Pay2W and Kong, and their Echo decided the Zone 3 for them. So you see, merits-wise, every zone 2 and zone 3 was really equal. Yes, probably a little bit more here and a little bit more there, but that looks pretty good. Then when we jumped into zone 4 and we had super hospitals, and yeah, we knew the situation as well from Kong and Pay2W, and Pay2W announced before the Dragon Zone Open a kind of kick list what players they don't take with them in the new season. So there was some trouble, internal stuff they had. So it was pretty sure that Dragon Zone, our team, like it is, have just no chance. So we just went a little bit in Dragon Zone, and then we said, okay, the only chance we maybe have is that we can go for the Necro in zone 3, because that is still an achievement you can get for the Ember. And when we look a little bit, when it opened the Zinc Boss, we had to fight Echo as well. So it was pretty much that in our zone, our zone 4 more merits, that means zone 4 opening. Yeah, the most of that merits, we fight it in zone 3. But then we had to fight not only GG and RAC anymore, because now it was possible that Echo could walk in the zone as well. I would not mark them completely yellow, but they came over, they did long walking, they did teleport stuff. And it was very powerful that Echo could support GG and RAC, because they only needed one troop in there, and then they used the fellowship teleports. And we all know the fellowship teleports, you can teleport in and over an hour, 5 marches again and again. And they could recall it with the pet coins, with the new policy in that season. So 1 hour, Echo could give RAC and GG a really good support. So it was, sometimes you saw it at the beginning video, that we had to fight Echo, GG, RAC. So overall, I think we did a pretty good job in this zone, but we just couldn't hold it at the end. I have to be honest, it was just impossible, because when you just look at the numbers you saw on the field and with that support, it was just, even if Echo was only there for an hour or so, that damaged us and gave us hospital as well. I can just say I had a lot of good trades in that kind of fights, but when you have to fight Echo as well, additional to GG and RAC, which is a pretty good opponent already, it was crazy. But for the fights, it was super, and I think we did an amazing job how long we hold our choke over there. So that was super exciting, and I think we also fight it very coordinated when we had to go to different places and fight them all. And when we look overall, we have here 2 camps. Let's go into a little bit other numbers. These are the end merits of the season. And as I said earlier, that also includes the merit trading. So a lot of people, I mean, I can super understand. Echo had they had in zone 2 the fight with us, but after they had only zone 3 war against Pay2W and Kong, and that they ended really fast as well. And then after zone 4, they had not so much fights anymore either, so they could just use that staff teleport and fellowship. So can't blame anyone for trading merits to empty the store. So it is overall, you see here the numbers of the merits, including merit trades, but if you just see the numbers, it doesn't matter now who traded merits that or who had a little bit more fights over there. Overall, you just see a lot of merits were made in that season. And I don't talk about others because I don't know their numbers, how much they traded, etc. But I can say for EIS, most of our merits we got through that season were fighting merits. And I think also our merits power ratio, etc. is a really good one. I'm super satisfied with our team. I think we did a great job also with when we fought with BXS together in voice chats. Big thanks to the BXS guys. It was so much fun with you, and I'm always the happiest to fight with you again in future. So it was a cool season. These are the stats over here, and you see we had some fun. Let's go to the next sheet. The dead troops, guys. The dead troops. So here you see what the Bastion fight cost, yes? Here we go into the dead troops that people had to take. In zone 2, let's go again and give here the colors for what we got in the Bastion fights. Let's mark it real quick, and there you see. Merits-wise, we were pretty even in zone 2, but you see also that we had less dead troops than the Team Echo and RK had. You have also to say is that because they had we were the defenders on 3 chokes at the end, and they had to rally our bastions. They had to cause much more dead troops, than we had to. But as I said, you have the bonus when you are the defender in a bastion. That was the most of the time when we tried our push and we couldn't make it, and we had just to defend on the chokes. So it cost many more millions on their side of dead troops. But there you see a little bit difference of the bastion fights over here. And also when we look at the other side, but their zone 2 was a little bit shorter. So they had for sure not so much dead troops. And I mean, you have to say pay to win with Toxic, refilling that bastions like crazy. That is also, but here you see it is a little bit more on the GG RAC side and dead troops. So because they kind of at the end when Pay to Win and Kong try to stay in the zone where the defenders. So here you see a little bit the difference over there. Zone 3, we had, let's go back into the colors, RAC and GG against EIS and BXS again. And here you see also that we have less deaths than they had. Here you see just the difference of dead troops that people had to sacrifice to get their goals. It's just also good to know how many deaths does it cause in such seasons, yes? And it's crazy amounts. And dead troops will be a thing in future in Call of Dragons. So everyone has to keep that in mind. And that is on the other side. I remember that when there was a lot of bastion fights as well in the Zone 3 of Echo and RK versus Pay to Win. The dead troops in Zone 4 is 60 million for the side Echo, RK, GG, and RAC, and 56 million on our side. So this is just huge numbers. Here you see the overall numbers, and that are the crazy numbers, guys. That's in war, yeah? Here we have the merits in war, and here we have the deaths in war. And here we see over, what color did we have over here? We choose the green. Let's go here and give them the green. Oh, that was another green, doesn't matter. And we give them here the blue one. That is all the dead troops we took through the whole season. Here you see the percentages, deaths to power, I think, and the average deaths per player. And I think the future with the dead troops will be interesting to see. But I think that is a thing in the game right now, and I don't know if it will be in the future. I think the bastions, in my opinion, and that is just my experience from that KVK, are way too powerful. It was, in my opinion, I would have loved to have a little bit more open field fights and a little bit less bastion fights. Not because I don't want to cause dead troops, that's not the issue, but it is kind of boring because you have to burn that bastion to get it down 4 or 5 times, and they can extinguish it, refill it. So I would like to see more open field fighting where you really can see what is when all the players are on the field, where you need the skills to play and not just who burn more troops, you know? So I hope in the future that will be a little bit changed, especially with the make way policy, that it's not so easy and they maybe get a little bit faster down or something like that. And just that we have some situations where we can have that good open field fights. Overall, it was so much fun this season. I had so much fun. I had personally the biggest amount of merits I ever got. I think I'm at 33 million merits right now. I'm super proud because I had artifacts with level 2, with level 3. I'm super not maxed in everything, and I'm so happy. So overall, big thanks to the EIS family, to our leadership team. It was so many times we spent the seasons in voice chats together, and we had so much fun, sleepless nights. I have just the best team in the world, so thank you everyone. Thanks to our allies. Congratulations to Echo, RK, GG and RAC for winning the season. It was really a challenge. I learned a lot and I had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching my video, and if you enjoyed your time, please drop a like on the video and let me know in the comments below what you think about our KVK, about the stats and numbers you have seen. Till the next time, I wish you a great weekend, happy gaming, and much love. Your princess.